stop what you are doing right now. Because what Land Rover just dropped is about to make every luxury SUV on the market look like it's playing catch-up. The 2027 Range Rover SV is here. And I am telling you, this thing is not just a new car. This is a statement. And if you think you already know what a luxury SUV is supposed to feel like, this is going to completely change your mind. Let's talk about what's actually going on here. Because this is bigger than most people realize. Land Rover didn't just refresh a model, they restructured the entire top of the Range Rover lineup. The new 2027 SV Ultra sits above everything they have ever built before. And here's the part that should tell you everything you need to know. You cannot walk into a dealer and buy one. This vehicle is invitation only. Let that sink in for a second. Land Rover is literally deciding who gets to own one. Now, why is that significant for you as someone who follows the luxury SUV market here in the United States? Because it means Range Rover is drawing a line in the sand. They are separating the people who buy luxury from the people who live it. And the 2027 SV Ultra is their way of saying the bar just got raised. Let's start with the outside. Because the moment you see this truck in person, it is going to stop you cold. The headline finish is called Titan Silver, and this is not your average metallic paint. Land Rover developed a proprietary paint technology using real aluminum flakes, mixed into a special pigment formula. The result is a finish that literally moves when light hits it. They describe it as liquid metal in motion. And after seeing what this paint does under sunlight, that description is completely accurate. It was produced using a brand new paint booth system installed specifically for this generation of Range Rover. Nothing else on the market has this paint. Nothing. The wheels are 23 inches, and they come with satin platinum inserts that play directly off that silver exterior. The center caps carry the new stacked Range Rover logo that the brand quietly introduced last year. Every single detail on the outside of this truck was intentional. Nothing was accidental. This is a design team that had a specific vision and executed it perfectly. And that's just the shell. We have not even talked about what is happening underneath the hood or what is going on inside that cabin. Because when we get there, this is where the 2027 Range Rover SV completely separates itself from everything else in the segment. Let's get into the performance. Because this is where the 2027 Range Rover SV stops being just a luxury vehicle and starts being something genuinely dangerous on the road. And I mean that in the best possible way. Under the hood of the SV Ultra, Land Rover is offering two powertrain options for the American market. The first is a plug-in hybrid setup called the P550e, built around an inline-six engine. The second, and the one that is going to get all the attention, is the P615 V8. That is a 4.4-liter twin-turbocharged V8 sourced directly from BMW 615 horsepower in a Range Rover. Let that number sit with you for a moment. This is not a sports car. This is a full-size, 5-seat luxury SUV that weighs over 2.5 tons, and it is pushing over 600 horsepower to the road. Now, for context, the current Range Rover Sport SV already runs a version of that same BMW V8 making 626 horsepower, and it does 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. The 2027 SV Ultra with the P615 is tuned differently, calibrated more toward that elevated, composed performance that the full-size Range Rover is known for. This is not a truck trying to be a track car. This is a truck that will absolutely embarrass sports cars at a stoplight while the passengers in the back are reclining in heated seats and listening to a 21-speaker sound system. And speaking of that sound system, we need to talk about it. Because it is unlike anything offered in this segment right now. Land Rover calls it SV electrostatic sound. It uses 21 thin film transducers combined with 5 dedicated bass loudspeakers. But here is the part that no other luxury brand is doing at this level. The body and sole seats, which are standard in the SV Ultra on both the first and second row, are built with haptic technology embedded directly into the seat structure. The seat physically vibrates and pulses in sync with the music you are playing. You are not just hearing the audio, you are feeling it through your entire body. And then Land Rover went one step further. The floor of the vehicle, the actual floor, and has what they call a sensory haptic floor system. So when the bass hits, you feel it through your feet and through your seat simultaneously. This is a completely immersive audio experience that no other luxury SUV in America is offering right now. Not Bentayga, not Cullinan, not the Navigator. Nobody is doing this at this level. The interior materials match everything else going on in this vehicle. Orchid White and Cinder Grey Ultra fabrics wrap the entire cabin. Now let's talk about what is happening inside that cabin at a deeper level, because the technology and the finish quality in the 2027 Range Rover SV Ultra is genuinely on a different tier than anything this brand has produced before. The Ultra fabric's interior is not leather. Land Rover made a deliberate choice to move toward an animal-free material that they believe actually outperforms traditional leather in terms of durability, softness, and long-term appearance. The Orchid White and Cinder Grey combination they chose for the SV Ultra is not a color pairing you would expect. And that is exactly the point. It is unexpected, it is bold. And in person it looks like something out of a private jet, not an SUV. The center console has been completely reworked. Land Rover is bringing back physical controls for key functions, and this is a big deal. Over the last few years, the entire auto industry pushed everything onto touchscreens. Drivers pushed back, and Land Rover listened. The 2027 SV Ultra returns a central volume knob and a dedicated cluster of terrain response switches to the console. You get the premium digital experience of PV Pro, and you also get real tactile controls for the things you actually need to reach while you are driving. That is smart design. That is a brand that actually pays attention to how people use their vehicles in real life. The rear of the cabin is where things get truly special for the American buyer who wants the full chauffeur experience. There is a deployable rear club table that folds out when you need it. There is a powered cooler compartment built into the console. The second row gets the same body and sole haptic seating as the front, and the gloss white ceramic accents carry through every touch point in the vehicle. From the climate controls to the door handles to the switchgear, every surface you touch in this truck communicates quality. Here's the bottom line for anyone watching this in the United States right now. The luxury SUV segment is more competitive than it has ever been. Porsche, Bentley, Rolls-Royce, Cadillac, Lincoln, they are all fighting for the same customer. And what Range Rover just did with the 2027 SV Ultra is remind everyone exactly who set the standard in the first place. Liquid metal paint, 615 horsepower, a floor that pulses with music, invitation-only availability. This is not a vehicle trying to compete. This is a vehicle trying to end the conversation entirely. The 2027 Range Rover SV just dropped, and luxury SUVs will never be the same.